Hello, and welcome back to the Osumania 7K World Cup 2025 Semifinals weekend. I am one of your commentators for tonight's Surf Show 85, and alongside with me in the booth is Potassium F. Hello.
Hello, we are back for another match, another winner's bracket match. The other one that we're going to be seeing right away, seed number 2 versus seed number 3. This very well could be another really close one between China and Philippines.
Yeah, this matchup in particular has had a storied history. This matchup in particular, this showdown is the 6th time these two countries will be facing each other in a 7K World Cup. The previous 5 times were 2017 semifinals where China took the victory. Same went for the quarterfinals in 2018. In 2019, the winners bracket final between the Philippines and China went to tiebreaker with the Philippines winning that one 7-6. The 2022 losers bracket final went to China, and obviously there was last year's losers bracket final, the one that went to, losers bracket in the finals weekend, not a losers bracket final. The one that went just 2,000 points difference in one of the best tiebreakers in OSU World Cup history.
Of course, the evening tiebreaker was that one, was it?
Yes, indeed. And
I remember that one very well.
We were the ones who were commentating that match. This is a storied matchup. So yeah, 6 matchup. Currently, China leads the face-off 3 matches to 2. The Philippines has a chance to tie this up, or Team China will be up 4-2 in terms of their historical matchup.
Yeah, I mean, you did say that China is leading the head-to-head, but 2 of those were a very long time ago. The recent matches have been a lot closer, trading back and forth between the 2 teams. This one is going to be very interesting because China's been looking very strong. Philippines have also been doing well despite lacking potentially a couple of the players that they've had success with in the past.
Yeah, I think especially from the 2023 winning World Cup winning team, the only returning player really is Ochi-san, who I'm pretty sure will be appearing in this match the entire way through if things do look that way. Meanwhile, Team China, who interestingly enough is the other country that won the 7K World Cup, that is not South Korea. Back in 2016. Again, these 2 teams were the ones who have won the 7K World Cup outside of South Korea. Team China, on the other hand, their players are pretty much household names. You had Turks. In this one, you have...
We have Turks, we have Satori, and Van Wilder as well, potentially making an appearance this week. We are getting later into the tournament, and anyone that knows China's past teams, they know that Van Wilder is a player previously known as Zhang Fan, and 4K Game By. I was also thinking of another.
Yeah,
but definitely one of those players that you expect to be coming out more in the late game. Towards the end is where he really shines when it comes to the combo, because not a very accuracy-oriented player overall. But so far in this tournament, Philippines, I think will kind of start leaning towards the LNs if anything, because Kura, Oji-san, can play basically everything on that team, but I feel like their second player, Sani, should be playing more of the maps, but he is definitely more of an LN player, at least in my head. Arquin being their Rice player so far might start falling off a little bit as far as physicality is concerned.
Yeah, unless if Arquin for some reason finds this really good form that Arquin for some reason manages to just pull out all of a sudden. But anyways, protects were I hope I did not miss it. Rice 5 Hebe for China. Philippines protecting Gekko Cho, which is our Ellen Coronation pick, and then the bans for Philippines getting the technical. Actually, both teams kicking out the technical picks. Philippines with the Rice, China with the hybrid.
These are some really wacky picks for China, it seems. Protecting Hebe and banning Hybrid 2 Enchanted Love. These 2 maps have not been touched as far as protects and bans are concerned so far. And China seeming to really trying to target Philippines on more of their uncomfortable rice patternings. They're not aiming for the straightforward rice like Japan does, for example. They're going for the trickier patterns.
And I think China will be taking advantage of that. Obviously, there's Turks who has been phenomenal with these really hard rice picks, even in previous MWCs. And we were talking about this after the previous match ended, like before we went on a break. I think the theory here really is Oji-san and Turks should be able to go head to head with each other. This one is really going to be leaning more towards how their second players are going to cover for each other.
And the biggest difference I feel like between these two teams is that China has a more dedicated rice player in AF. Philippines, they have some strong players, but I'm not sure if Sani is as comfortable here. We'll have to see if they can keep up with these patterns, because we've seen quite a lot of misses happening, and there's an early one from Sani actually. But more to come for sure later on in this map.
Yeah, it's a pretty uncharacteristic miss on our relatively lighter section, but thankfully it's still pretty early on. But again, already look at the accuracy of the Chinese players here. You have almost a 99.9 coming from Turks. And AF unfortunately dropping more of their accuracy, but is behind Audrey-san, but the miss is coming from Sunny. Already dropping them below 99%. This will be a problem for Team PH, I would think.
Yeah, definitely a bit of an issue when it comes to the comfort here for Sani on these patterns, and it's not going to get any better because we've seen there is quite a big difficulty spike towards the end of this map. So if there's misses coming in, Oji-san as well with the miss from Philippines, China still with the 2 full combos. This lead is getting big already.
And Team China will be maintaining their double full combo, and they're still half the chart. Like, this is a relatively longer pick for 7K World Cup standards. So this lead will just look to increase more and more and more. And there's still the final part of the chart where the pattern just gets really crazy.
It's going to get harder towards the end, but I mean, you have to imagine that difficulty increase is going to favor China. If Philippines is the one that's been finding the struggles on the first half of the map here, we'll see how it goes. We're speeding up now.
Everyone getting through the trail just fine. Sunny wanting to recover to that 99% accuracy, but they're kind of struggling to get there.
This is the bracket section. Everyone holding on pretty well there. A little bit of accuracy drops I see, but nothing too serious. Everyone holding on to their combos, but Sunny finds a miss at the end. Hang on a second. AF very that's the last possible note you could miss on, but we can call that an honorary full combo there. China with an absolutely monstrous team score, gonna manage to pick up their protect,
and only 7-200s coming from Turks. That is some impressive accuracy coming from China's best rice player, in my opinion.
Oh, no question. Turks is absolutely a monster.
We're gonna see more of that.
Turks is a player that has been improving, I feel like, year after year. Just a few years ago, you can think back to the roster with Liang, when Turks was considered more of the combo-focused player that would get slightly lower accuracy compared to the rest of the team. Now it is completely the other way around. Turks with world-class accuracy along with the combo ability.
Okay, now so Team PH are now the ones picking. I presume that they might open this one via Gekkocho. At least in theory. I would think this is that one match where you're just gonna pick the protects early and then see what happens later on.
Yeah, I do think Philippines has an extremely solid roster. I would say Philippines LN1 even would be a strong pick for them. LN4 might be a bit scary because China have some pretty crazy LN4 like coordination players on their team.
Okay, I see Satori in the chat. I presume this might be China predicting Philippines picking LN.
Yeah, Satori is an insanely good LN player, especially when it comes to like the trickier coordination patterning of the LN. A bit of a specialist on Team China. And it will be
There you go,
LN4.
LN4.
And you have to imagine Philippines going to stick with the Kurosani duo. This is the LN team for this country.
Yeah, and I think Arkwin most likely will be coming in once the more straightforward Rice picks actually kick in, which are Rice 2, Rice 3, and Rice 6. Like if we're talking about Rice teams, meanwhile China overall really has a good rotation on the other hand. Meanwhile, for these LNs, I think these two duos that we're gonna see will be the ones sticking around for the entire thing. Whenever we try to slurp noodles in this match.
Yeah, I mean, thinking of LN players, Zhang Fan on Team China, or Van Wilder is the new name, is one of those players that comes to mind that does kind of specialize in LN a little bit. But the question is if the maps are hard enough to require him to step in.
I guess most likely if it's the faster LN picks like LN2, LN3,
I would say LN2 is more of like kind of a Van Wilder type of map, but this one for sure right up Satori's alley, something that you would expect both of these teams to do quite well in. So we'll see if there's any mistakes that happen now that we're in the denser section.
And this is a fairly short pick as well, so any drops coming from any of these teams will be fatal. Sunny finding the first one, as I mentioned that.
Yeah, first drop down to 99.1 as well. Bit of an accuracy drop there. Satori keeping up with Kura in terms of the accuracy, and Turks is also holding strong with the 99.4. Not that much different in terms of the accuracy, honestly, between the two teams right now. It could flip back very quickly.
Yeah, like the score lead isn't really increasing that much. Satori finding a pretty sizable drop. Clean miss though. The accuracy is still right there, but Turks, now that is a sizable drop. Like that's a full 3/10.
Yeah, Turks now dropping below Sani in terms of the accuracy. So Satori versus Kura being won out by Kura with the full combo. And that's giving just a little bit of an advantage. 7,000 points still is not that safe. Philippines going to have to hold on to their combos as long as they can. But here is a very hard section, very tricky to be able to get through this whole thing, and Kura does find the drop.
A relatively clean drop though. There's the supporting combo's gone as well. So that's a full team reset for Team PH, and the lead is on China's side now.
Yeah, both teams, they're taking turns, missing. Turks finding a miss, Sani trading it back. Hang on. China is going to hold on to the lead, but not for long as Satori finds a miss. It's only Kura with that combo. And it looks like it's settling just a little bit in favor of Philippines, but they can't drop any 200s. It looks like it's switching back and forth so quickly.
Like, this is the within 1,000 points. Satori finding a drop at the very end.
That miss it. Satori with a critical miss at the very last pattern that possibly could have happened. Philippines managing to take their own pick.
Talk about close. Talk about really close.
Down to the wire at the end, 2,000 points, but Philippines, they have tied up the match, kept it close, at least for the first couple. And China, they're now deciding what they want to pick. Interestingly, Turks, he's checking offset, it seems.
Okay.
I was confused for a second. Turks subs out.
Well, honestly, this will make LN1 look pretty spicy.
I think
because I presume that will be picked at some point in this match. No way that doesn't get picked.
I think if I was Philippines, I would just pick LN1 next. Like just straight up. I don't think.
Yeah.
I think that should be the first thing that Philippines would look towards in their next pick, but they're gonna have to get through China's pick first. Rice 1. So yeah, China's really going the opposite direction of every other Rice team, it seems. Picking the least straightforward of all of the Rices right away.
Okay, so now we're gonna be seeing Arquin for Sunny here. You know, Turks, I presume AF is gonna come back for this one. Oh, it's Van Wilder. Okay.
Oh, okay. We are getting hard enough, it seems, for Van Wilder to make an appearance. Bit of a combo gamer coming into the chat. A player that you can kind of rely on to get these high combos on. Arquin also coming into Team Philippines, so we're seeing quite a few roster swaps for these two teams now.
Okay, just a fun fact for everyone. China won MWC 7K back in 2016. Philippines won back in 2023. But only 2 players from those 2 teams are in this matchup right now, and you're seeing them right here. Zhang Fan from 2016's winning team, Audrey Sun from 2023's winning team.
Yeah, those bottom 2 players, the ones to look out for. I mean, Turks now joining China since then has been a massive boost to China's firepower, so we'll see how it plays out on this one. Honestly, we might be seeing an accuracy advantage coming out for Philippines if everyone holds on to the combo, but looks like Arquin actually finds a little bit of an act drop at the start there.
I think, as weird as it may sound, considering how good Arquin really is, like the accuracy is going to be much. It's something that we really have to monitor here for the most part. So it does appear that Van Wilder and Arquin have been keeping up with each other for the most part. The main the difference between these 2 teams are coming from Turks being almost 2 full tenths ahead of Ojisan's accuracy at the moment.
That's only enough for a 2,000 point lead though, and of course still 4 full combos. Anyone could miss at any time, and there we go. Van Wilder finding the first miss for Team China. That's going to give the Philippines a little bit of an edge, but not by a whole lot. That was a fairly clean miss.
But it's not exactly a place where you really want to miss though. It's like at the end of a break section. But as it stands, actually, a few 200s coming from Van Wilder, dropping them to below 99.1. Almost dropping below 99%, but they are stabilizing. Turks finding a drop. This is Team Philippines' lead, stretching this a tad bit more. There's still quarter of the chart remaining. Anything could still happen. No full combos left on the Chinese side. Still 2 more for the Philippines. They just need to hold on if they want to score this breakpoint. The lead has already increased to 5 digits.
11,000.
It's starting to decrease. Turks' accuracy has come back. Arquin finding a drop. Is there going to be enough time? Is there enough time?
It's 1,000 points. It's flicking over right now, but Turks fighting this.
Ooh.
There might not be enough time anymore. It looks like Turks. That was enough for Philippines to get enough of an advantage. If Philippines just hold on to their combos through this last section, they've got it.
The Philippines winning on a pick that, honestly, I think could have gone to China.
I think,
like, without the misses coming from Turks at the end.
That was all on just individual misses right there. Kura, being the only full combo, did a lot of heavy lifting in that one. Arquin and Van Wilder both having very similar scores altogether. It is just those misses from Turks that did it. And it is going to be 2-1 Philippines. Now they've got the advantage. They've got the ability to stretch this out to a 3-1 lead if they go for a good pick here. It's going to be LN2 actually.
I mean, it's a pretty good pick. Like they might as well stick with the LNs for the most part. Like LN1, as I said, like yeah, it would have been a good follow-up from LN4, but LN4 ended a bit too close. LN1 has that element of coordination, which they might want to keep in check, at least for the most part. Now we have Van Wilder sticking in this match.
I did think this was
you guys aren't aware enough. Van Wilder is one of China's best LN players overall as well. So
I was thinking this is definitely more of a Van Wilder map than a Satori map, at least as far as I am concerned here. And of course, Sani coming in for Philippines as well, something that you would expect. So this seems like a fairly predictable lineup for both of these teams.
Pretty interesting so far. Well, anyways, we're just waiting for everything to. We're just waiting for everything to settle down before we start. I think there might be a last minute substitution. We're just waiting for confirmation here. So as it stands, Van Welder will be sticking here.
Yeah, okay. It does seem like it's going to be
Okay.
Satori coming in instead of Van Wilder here.
Okay, there you go. So that's.
So Satori may be playing all of the LNs for Team China for this pool as well, it seems. And maybe some internet issues, resulting in Van Wilder not being able to leave the lobby.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, we'll see how this one plays out. China's going to want to try and break this point as fast as they can. This might be their best opportunity for a while, because LN1 is pretty scary for the Philippines, I think, in the future. So this is going to be one. China got to keep it together, try to avoid these misses as much as possible, because Philippines have looked quite solid so far. A little bit of a lead right now for China. Sani and both Kura going down to 99% flat throughout that intro. That's giving a little bit of a lead so far to China, but everyone's still on the full combos. This lead, very volatile right now, could swing very quickly as we're getting into some of the denser parts of the map in just a little bit. And let's see now, everyone's still holding this. Bit more of these tricky patterns coming in. The density is really being kicked up now, but no one's struggling. All of these accuracies actually increasing in favor of Philippines right now. The accuracies are going up. Kura now at 99.3 as both of the Chinese players on 99.5. And I can't believe we still have four full combos halfway through in the map. Bit of a break section. And now it is 8,000 points in the lead for China. But there can't be any mistakes for either team halfway through. Fairly long map. So this accuracy lead is going to start building up more and more. Sani finds the first break. And this lead now going to start going up really quickly. 13,000 points already. 3 players still with the full combo. They're holding on so well. There's nothing really Philippines can do except hope for China to make some mistake in this last quarter of the map. As now we're at 15,000 points. Kura doing his best, 99.4, but still not enough to contend with either of the Chinese players. The double FC, as we're into the last moments of the map right now, 17,000 points. And I cannot believe this. What are we seeing? Two-way FC, 99.6 for both of the Chinese players. That miss looking like it didn't matter whatsoever. This is a dominant performance. This is, without a doubt, the best team score we are seeing this week on this map. No team is beating this. 16 200s for both of the Chinese players. Kura as well with the full combo, but we can see the ratio difference, the accuracy difference, and the combo difference all there in favor of China, and they're tying this match up right away.
No, we don't stand.
And it looks like China, they're not wasting any time whatsoever. It's going to be one of the more standard Rice maps now. Rice 2, bit of a chord stream map coming out. And this one being a bit longer, this is going to be a little bit more consistent than some of the other Rice maps that we've seen. Maybe can avoid the misses that China was finding earlier on Rice 1. That might be the plan for them. And we'll see Arquin coming back in for the Philippines, a strong performer on the Rice there. And it looks like actually Satori's going to be sticking in. So the first time I'm going to be seeing Satori playing a Rice map in this tournament, at least. I'm not sure if he has played in one of the previous ones, but definitely a strong player when it comes to accuracy. So the consistency might be there. Okay, a long one here. And oh my god, what are these initial accuracies? Obviously not going to last that long, but everyone was holding 99.9 at the start there. So very strong starts for everyone. And we'll see if anyone finds any mistakes throughout this one. Still very close between the two teams as everyone's holding still 99.8. Whoa, hold on. Turks and Arquin. Trade of misses in a very interesting spot to do that, but it looks like Arquin comes out a little bit worse for wear, down to 99.5 as Turk still maintains that 99.8% accuracy. So benefiting China ever so slightly, but still Philippines close enough for this to only be a 3,000 point gap. Arquin struggling a little bit in the accuracy compared to the other players and actually finding another miss. That repeated miss is going to hurt quite a lot because that one's not traded this time. This one being a marathon, it's going to last quite a while as well. The stamina might start kicking in at some point as well. But a bit of a break section. China now 9,000 points in the lead. 99.8 on both of their players. Just Kura managing to match that on the team of Philippines. Now 10,000 points. This lead is just going to grow over time unless mistakes come out from Team China. Both of their players now increasing their accuracy. Now above 99.8 for the both of them. And Arquin has stabilized his accuracy to about 99.4. Another miss actually coming out from Turks, but that one's a clean one again. A little bit of 200s at the start of that break section, but still 99.4, 99.74 that is. Tying accuracy with Kura. So the accuracy well in favor of Team China. That is offsetting these misses that Turks has been getting. And 8,000 points should still be decently comfortable. 8,000 is a fairly large gap when it comes to very long map like this. So even one or two misses might be okay for China. But here's the last section now. We'll see if anyone finds any mistakes towards the end here, or if China are going to manage to protect their own point. And oh, Arquin finding that miss towards the end. That might be all it takes now. China gonna manage to run away with their own point, 12,000 points. Even if both of their players miss at this point, it's not going to be enough. Satori does break that full combo towards the end. But clean miss once again. It is only Kura with the full combo, but not enough for Philippines. China managing to take their own point. This time a little bit safer than before, but oh my god, 1-200 from Kura. Strong 200 count there, but the ratios we can see for Team China are just that much better. Now we'll see what is the response from Philippines. You have to imagine it. It should be LN1. They could go for LN3 if they want, but I think LN1 is definitely the one that they'll have the better advantage on. And they do decide to pick it. This one might end up being a similar story to LN4, a very close potential battle I can see between these two on this one. And for those wondering, for a while now, we have not had Surfchew. His internet exploded. So I am here by myself, at least for now. This one is, of course, the full inverse map. And, oh, hang on a second. We might be seeing a Turksless map coming out here. Kura and Sani expected for Teams Philippines. And we're going to be seeing Satori and Van Wilder. Two players that I do know for their LN capabilities, but in different ways. So it's going to be interesting to see what the team performance is out of China on this one. And let's see if we can get into it now. Definitely eyes on Kura here. Kura is one of those players that you can expect to pop off on all of these hard maps like this. But really, all four of these players are names that you would expect to see performing exceptionally well on something like this. And here we are at the start of the map. It does also seem that we have a replacement coming in, perhaps. Early on in this map, everyone holding pretty strong through the intro here. Welcome Reveil to the commentary booth, replacing the internetless Surfchew.
Yes, hello. This is very last minute. I apologize, Surfchew is having some internet issues, but I am free, available, and ready to see what is going to happen in this very exciting match so far. I've been keeping tabs, I've been following for a while, and China and Philippines have been duking it out extremely well.
This map no different as well, 2,000 points. Philippines just a tiny little bit in the lead. Van Wilder having some internet. Oh, Sani finding the first break. I was going to say Van Wilder having some accuracy issues, but now Sani drops down below to 99.2.
Yeah, accuracy advantage still to China with Satori leading the charge. Ojisan not too far behind, but with that combo pick from Sani, China have built up a pretty sizable lead, now 5 digits. And Philippines have to play some catch-up. Sani finds a couple more accuracy drops. Actually, the entire lobby finding some accuracy drops, but China is in the good for this.
In fact, Van Wilder increasing his accuracy throughout that section. Sani now finding another miss as well. Oji-san as well! Both of the Philippines players, and China's still holding on to these two full combos.
Yeah, this pick might backfire for the Philippines. China now have a firm grasp of this lead as Sani drops again.
Yeah, it's more of China pulling out some extremely impressive combo work. These patterns are extremely hard to maintain a consistent combo on throughout the map, and we're still seeing two full combos towards the outro.
Yeah, still doing really well to keep on to the combos from China. And if nothing else happens here, I think that is going to be another point to China.
Yeah, 24,000 points at this point in the map. It seems like it's too late for there to be any kind of comeback. It is going to be China managing to take a break point. Going to maintain their lead. It's going to be 4-2 with a double FC.
Wow.
And those are exactly the ratios I was expecting with a team of Van Wilder and Satori. Satori getting the best ratio, and Van Wilder getting the lowest ratio, but both of them having that combo ability. Okay, hang on, this is a very fast pick. China has been wasting no time. They've been just going straight into their picks right away. Pre-prepared with them. Okay, and it seems like we are, thank you Rav for that half a map there, but we are going to be switching back because Surfchew has his internet back. Welcome back, Surfchew.
Typical Southeast Asian moment, huh?
That's how it goes sometimes. Luckily, it wasn't with the players. That would be a bit worse, for sure.
Indeed. Definitely not the first time I've been receiving issues in NWC this weekend.
Yeah, it happens.
No,
It happens.
if you know, you know.
If you know, you know from yesterday.
But
But interesting to note, full team swap out for China. Van Wilder and Satori swapping out for Turks and AF. We do see Arquin swapping in for Philippines, so 3 players in total swapping for this map here. It's going to be the fast chord stream pick.
It's actually pretty funny how quickly China went for this. But I mean, we saw how close Rice One is. I think this is more up to China's alley for the most part. And right now, their accuracy advantage over the Philippines has been pretty evident as of the moment. AF with 4 ahead by 3 full tenths over Arquin's accuracy as of the moment. Like, it's practically the reason why we're seeing this point difference.
Yeah, just small amounts though. Only 5,000 points, and with full combos, anything can really happen so far. Yet to see any misses from either player. There we go,
Well,
there's
there you go.
AF. Expecting it to happen at some point, but actually, hang on, this is traded right away from Arquin. So China's actually going to maintain this lead.
Yeah, those trade practically just reset everything to where it was. Still status quo as we enter the final quarter of this chart. Oji-san actually dropping a bit in accuracy. Like, Turks right now outright ahead of everyone accuracy wise with still their full combo. The only full combo remaining in China's side, so it's Turks against Oji-san now, who has a better accuracy for the most part. Arquin has recovered to around 99.4, but the time is running out. AF doing just enough to cover for them, maintaining this 4,000 point lead.
Getting close. This accuracy is very, very close between the two teams. But it is China just keeping enough. Look at these accuracies. Turks was only 0.04 above Kura, and AF was only 0.06 above Arquin with 1 miss apiece. That was within a couple 200s of being Philippines' point.
Well, that means that the Philippines will have to do 4 consecutive points if they want to seal this match at their end. Meanwhile, Team China on their best position to finally qualify, to finally hit the top 3 for the first time since 2022 if my history isn't failing me.
And this is such an... Wait, top 3 for the first... Wait. Did they not get top 3 last year?
Yeah,
Am
it was
I crazy?
Korea, Malaysia, Philippines.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Malaysia, Philippines, Korea. It has been, for sure. China putting themselves back in that conversation, and this is by far the best opportunity for both of these teams to make that top 3, because the losers bracket is not a place either of these teams wants to go to right now. And it's going to be Philippines picking Hybrid. They're going to the Hybrid 3 right away.
They're going immediately for the hardest pick in the pool. Sunny coming in for Arquin.
I think this might work out pretty well for the Philippines overall. It really does come down to a little bit of Kura and Turks, I think. As weird as it kind of sounds, because this, as the maps get harder, Kura is one of those players that really can take over the entire match by himself if he needs to. And it's really up to Turks to try and match that as much as possible, because this is one of those maps that you can kind of start to see some solo carries on if everyone else is finding misses.
Yeah, such is the nature of these difficult picks. In a way, this is a prelude to what I'd say a certain category that's gonna be debuting next weekend. Like in terms of like the difficulty relative to the rest of the pool, that's the nature of these mid tiebreakers for the most part. Again, most likely we're not going to be seeing much problems here for Turks and Oji-san. It's the second players that are going to be making the difference here for the most part.
And so far, it does seem like both teams kind of tied in accuracy overall. Oji-san does drop in accuracy down to 99.6. Turks is on 99.99 somehow, but being matched a little bit by Sunny. Oh, very weird miss for Satori there in the break, but of course, pretty clean overall, so not going to result in much of a score difference.
Like right now, so far so good for the Team Philippines though. At least they have that going for the most part. Interestingly enough, it's actually Sunny that has better accuracy than Oji-san, albeit it's only a 10.
Yeah, but the difficulty about to ramp up right now, so now's the time that you expect some players to drop their accuracy down all the way, maybe their combos as well. Oh, and it's so close, but Satori finding another miss now. A third miss coming out.
Yeah, these misses are going to help Philippines a little bit. Interestingly enough, Oji-san also dropped accuracy while maintaining the full combo. Now it's gone. Sunny's full combo is also gone, but Turks manages to trade it, so we're practically tied.
Yeah, everyone's combo gone. It was Satori the only one to hold on to that section there, and now we are exactly even. All of the accuracy is fairly similar. Actually, China with the AC advantage as Sunny finds another miss.
It was a pretty messy miss coming from Sunny as well, dropping them to below 99.3. So, but there comes another miss from Turks, making the 2 consecutive ones. Team PH now has a slight lead.
That's
going into the second half of the start.
Big set of misses from Turks. That was 99.6 down to 99.3 with those. The highest AC in the lobby just tanking just like that. And now Satori and Kura both tying each other in accuracy. Turks is a little bit ahead of Sunny, but more misses have come out from the side of China so far. And that gives 2,000 points in favor of Philippines.
And now we enter the final part of the chart where the density just becomes really immense.
Long notes have been benefiting kind of both teams so far. So no clear advantage, I don't think, will be had for either team towards this end. It's just...
Yeah, the lead is decreasing though.
Oh, who messes up the most? It's coming down to accuracy a little bit. Sunny's accuracy is still a little bit lower than the other players. Over time, maybe China can claw this one back. But Kura hanging in there with the highest accuracy in the lobby. Still, it might flip over. It's going towards China. And Sunny finds the miss.
Well, this is Team China's best position now. There's still a quarter of the chart remaining. They just need to limit those misses, but there's a big sequence coming from Satori. But China... Oh no! That's another miss! And the scores are flickering again!
How is it still flickering? The misses aren't enough. It looks like Turks and Satori both missing. Philippines now with the lead, 3,000 points, and that's going to do it. They are going to secure their own pick off the back of the combos, because these accuracies are in favor of China even at the very end of the map.
We're not yet done, folks.
No, it's done.
Yeah. I mean, we're not yet done with the match.
In the match. This map is most certainly done. Look at that miss difference. That is the entire difference in these scores here. The 200s and accuracy definitely favoring China overall. But Philippines, they are 2 maps away from forcing this tiebreaker out. China have their best opportunity to close right now. They want to do it in their own pick.
And Rise 3 is still open, right?
Rise 3 is open. Yes.
There's also Rise 2.
Oh, they've already played Rise 2. That was when you were...
Okay.
When you were switched out. But yeah, Rise 3, the last Rise.
I see might be their best pick here.
Oh, that's a risky one though.
But
I don't know
Fox-
if you want to pick Rice 3 here.
I mean, Foxglove is also pretty risky.
Yeah, there's no good picks, I feel like, here for China. I'm not sure if they really want to pick any of these three maps that are remaining.
Yeah, LN3 would be funny, but it's not the direction I expect them to take.
I mean, they did win. Yeah, they did win 2 of the LN maps. It looked quite good for China, but it's hard to rely on that because Philippines also look really comfortable on those LNs. It's going to be the Rice. China are going to fully pick out the Rice pool. And this one is Philippines' golden opportunity. This is their chance to win that one breakpoint back to really put this match in their own hands.
Just a small comment though. How fitting that this song actually gets picked in China versus Philippines. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. I don't even play MOBAs, but if you know, you know. FWC highlights. I just saw it somewhere. So I guess we call it Wo-Osumania. Wo-Osumania Samigay. If you know, you know.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know. I am unaware. But that seems like something for me to look up in my own time after. We are going right into it. The most important map so far. This is going to be one that very well could determine the outcome of the entire match. China's best opportunity. They're not going to get something like this again. And Philippines, their chance to win this one as well. This is such a tense map to do it on as well. A map that could be decided by 200 count, by a single miss perhaps, because all 4 of these players have the ability to get extremely high accuracies.
Though I'm actually pretty surprised that of all 4 of the 3 players who I think is capable of doing this for Team PH, it's actually Sunny being the second player here for Team PH, but we see multiple misses from AF.
Really rough start from AF, dropping down to 99.2. That was a big act drop. This is going to be a quite sizable lead for Philippines. But AF is building that accuracy up. It's going to contend with Sunny pretty soon.
Yeah, we're already seeing the lead start to decrease a little bit, but Sunny has been increasing accuracy steadily, which is a good sign for Team PH. Meanwhile, Oji-san, 99.84, just 400s ahead of Turks, who I'm pretty sure will be able to get through the second half. I mean, the final third of this chart with better accuracy, I would think.
This is a one-miss game.
Yeah.
This is a one-miss game. AF is better accuracy than Sunny now, despite the misses that happened earlier. If Philippines do find one miss, this is going to go right back to China. The accuracy is slowly pulling in China's favor, but Turks dropping a lot of accuracy there. No one now is matching up to Oji-san. Yeah, Philippines in the lead.
Yeah, it's a pretty uncharacteristic act drop there coming from Turks. Still maintaining their full combo. But there's a quarter of the chart remaining. Anything could still happen, and the lead is still within 4 digits. A single miss would spell the difference between this match ending and one more chart.
Oh my god, Philippines, they got the breakpoint, the double FC. And just the one miss earlier from AF did the entire amount of damage that they needed it to be. Without that miss, this would have absolutely gone in China's favor. The match would be over. That accuracy was well in favor of China towards the end. But Philippines now, they get the last pick. They get to choose what they decide to go for to try and force this tiebreaker out of China.
Are we gonna hear LN3? Are we gonna see LN3, or gonna hear the saxophones of the OC original Foxglove?
Oh, what would
One way to find out.
I don't know which one would be better for Philippines. They won the hybrid pretty well, but the difference in these 2 hybrids is quite large. I don't know if you want to be going for a hybrid like Hybrid 1. That's a lot more straightforward, something that China might be a lot more comfortable on.
Well, rest assured though, like regardless of what happens here, we've been treated two amazing matches in the winners bracket. In the winners bracket. Like regardless of what
Absolutely.
happens.
These 4 teams in the winners bracket have proven exactly why they have been the ones to survive through the entire tournament up
Okay,
there.
they're going Foxglove.
Oh my god. Okay, Foxglove. This one is the one that I am not sure how it's going to go. This could go back and forth, and it's going to come down, I guess, mostly to the combos.
Time to hear these saxophones. I mean, it's most likely just one sax. Doing an entire solo, like this is really good.
Yeah, absolute banger as well. The Osu original, of course. And now Philippines in their own prime position now. It feels like the tides have turned a little bit. Philippines now in the driver's seat. But all it takes is for China to have one strong performance here, and they could very well end the match.
Well, at the end of this chart, it's either we're gonna be seeing the other Osu original, or it will go the same way as the other winners bracket match.
Yeah,
Turks and Satori going for China. Sunny and Oji-san, their Ellen duo, playing this one for the most part.
this one's really a coin flip. I feel like I don't know where this is going to go. All 4 players, actually Sani off to a bit of an awkward start there, down below the 99% mark, but no misses just yet. Should be able to maintain that accuracy back up pretty soon.
Yeah, they're already back to 99%, and a Turks miss will be reducing the lead just by less than half, and Sunny manages to return the trade.
Yeah, but you saw the problem there for Philippines. Even with that Turks miss, that lead was not really flipping. This accuracy difference really needs to be addressed by Philippines now. Sani needs to build that back up, and it is above 99% again.
Satori and Oji-san have been tying accuracy-wise for the most part. It's really Turks with a 99.7 making most of the difference here. Like, this is really phenomenal accuracies that we're seeing from Team China as of the moment.
Sani slowly building back up, is going to start eating away at that accuracy lead. 7,000 points for Team China, not very safe yet. Still almost in that second half of the map, and all of these patterns, I can't believe we still have this many full combos. Well, actually, I guess just the 2, really, but Sani finding another miss.
Oh, Sunny with another one. And it's not a miss that Team Philippines would want if they still want to bid for this tiebreaker. And now we enter this second half of the chart where the patterning leans more towards the LN. And as you've mentioned, the LNs have been benefiting both of these teams, so it's going to be really hard to call from this point. Sunny finding yet another drop in this transition section. Not much of an accuracy drop, though, thankfully, but the lead is going to continue to increase.
Oh, and that's the full combo! Oh, both of the Philippines players misses! This is massive. China now 22,000 points in the lead. They've held on the combo for so long. Philippines need them to collapse right now because last quarter of the map there's not enough time.
Yeah, and we're seeing, like, we're just moments away from seeing Team China enter the top 3 for the first time since 2022, if I am not mistaken.
And
like,
off the
Team
back
China,
as well.
Satori. Like, off the back of Satori's full combo.
It's both of them. Not just Satori. Turks has only got 1 miss, and his accuracy actually puts him at the MVP, I think, at this rate. 99.7 is insane for a map like this. They are pulling off exactly what they needed to. Turks finding 1 last miss at the end, but not going to matter. China are going to deny our tiebreaker. We are going to have 2 tiebreakers denied this weekend. But unfortunately for us, we don't get to see that just yet. Philippines is going to be sent down to the losers bracket, while China have secured their top 3 podium position, joining South Korea in that winners finals next week.
Yeah, and that is going to be a really spicy matchup. South Korea and China. That's a classic matchup. It's a rematch of the 2016 final, or the 2016 Grand Finals. You know, Team Philippines, as far as I know, will be facing the winner of, I think, the conditional match between Hong
No.
Kong,
No,
Hong Kong, Peru. No.
Philippines should
Oh,
be
it's Indonesia.
versing Indonesia. Yes,
Indonesia.
Philippines, Indonesia.
Okay, there you go.
Oh my god. Okay, that's gonna be
That's a classic.
that's gonna be a really good matchup, I think, as well. Those two teams been performing very well.
That's a classic matchup.
Yeah, I'm not sure who's gonna come out of that. That one is actually gonna be really close.
Also, like, okay, like, I might be speculating here at this point, but it's so weird that Philippines, China, Indonesia, and either Hong Kong, Germany is going to be out of the top 3.
Yeah, there are a lot of teams that are gonna be fighting for that top 3. There are quite a few options down there, and we actually have 2 more matches. Because not just Hong Kong, Germany, Peru as well, waiting in that losers bracket. We actually have the winner of Hong Kong, Germany is going to be versing Peru shortly after their match.
Yeah, that is also an interesting dynamic, because whoever wins that is playing 2 consecutive matches in a row, and this pool isn't exactly the most stamina friendly. Like, the patterns, the difficulty of the charts have been ramping up, and this is that point in the tournament where you're just gonna be tested so hard. And looking into these 2 teams, like, both Hong Kong and Germany have been having players play entire matches.
Yep, these teams
So,
are having to rely on a few of their players for sure.
Yeah, and also imagine playing 4. Like, if you manage to get through the entire thing, like, imagine playing at least 14 excruciating charts in a row. Like, if you end up playing 2 matches,
I'd lost maybe 30 seconds into one.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean,
lots of intense action coming up, but that next one is going to be at 14 UTC, so in pretty much exactly 1 hour from now. So we are going to be having a bit of a break until then.
yeah, but before that, just a small reminder that the OC Media 7K World Cup 2025 team support banners are up on the OC store. If you want to support your country or your favorite player's country, you may do so by buying a banner for your profile. If you happen to buy the winning country's banner, it will stick on your profile until the next 7K World Cup. You may also buy multiples of the same country, multiple countries' banners. You could opt to make your profile as long as humanly possible. Like, unreasonably long, I think. If you want to do that, then sure, you may do so. The money that goes into those banners will be helping increase the prize pool for these players that have been performing out of their minds this World Cup.
Absolutely, make sure you go check them out. But for now, we are going to be on an hour break, so we will see you guys next time.